We are joined right now by Kevin Burke and Chris Doc Wyatt. So Kevin and Doc, thank you gentlemen, first of all, for joining me this morning.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us here.
Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with the work, they have done over 200 plus scripts, animated series, and recently they are working on the Transformers BotBots. So the first question, I know that this stems from the Hasbro's toy line, but what led to this particular concept for the storyline for them, of course, to come to life once mall hours are closing? Tell me about, what went into the creative process for this.
So we saw the toy line and we thought this would be an absolutely fantastic show, and we wanted to make a show that leaned more into comedy. So this is, the Transformers franchise sort of meets sitcoms and 80s high school sort of movies that we loved, and very much wanted to find this space, that its own universe in the Transformers world, in which you don't need to know anything about the Transformers to enjoy this show. Or if you've been a huge fan for over 30 years, you can absolutely step in now and it doesn't negate anything you love. It's really for everybody, for kids and parents.
Okay. And with that being said, obviously, like you just mentioned, Transformers has been around for so many years and the writing is constantly expanding. Is there a challenge to that in trying to, keep it relevant and trying to come up with something new to captivate the younger generation? What was, the most challenging part of making sure that this was something you could bring to the children?
Well, I honestly, we felt like making the show, the most challenging part is just keeping the energy up and keeping it fun all the time, because we feel like this show, it's the first ever comedy Transformers show, because they're mostly action shows in the franchise, and we wanted to be able to take that idea of more than meets the eye, take that idea of robots in disguise, and put it into a whole new context, a context where everybody's having fun. The idea is that these bots weren't born yesterday, but they were born really recently. So they're like kids. They see with these fresh eyes, and they get to explore everything. And things that, like the escalator can turn into a water slide. The popcorn machine can be a ball pit. They can find the fun wherever they go.
So this is just really keying into the child's imagination so they can get into it more. I like that. So, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, we wanted to get to the core idea of robots in disguise, and like the original Transformers, even before you knew any of the lore, was that car could be a robot or that plane could be a robot. And here, any store you go to, you might be like, that piece of pizza might be a robot. That cup of coffee might be a robot. It definitely takes the idea of secret robots everywhere to a new level.
And talk about more with the partnership with Netflix. I know this is not your first go around with Netflix, but what made you guys say we want to make sure that this is brought to Netflix as well? There's so many animated series already on that network, but why did you choose this particular network, in conjunction with Hasbro Studios?
Well, Netflix, they've been incredible partners with us on past shows, and they're just such a delight to work with. They are creator-minded. They're very attuned to what the creator's sort of going for. They are supportive. It's been just nothing but a wonderful experience working with them.
And they're very big into long serialized stories, and this isn't just a show with a bunch of gags. There's a big story arc and character arc to this, and if you watch all 10 episodes that are now on Netflix, the characters are going to end up somewhere different than they started. They're all going on a journey, and you get to have a fun time going on a journey with them.
And this is a little bit personal, but either of you, for your children or grandchildren, if you have any, what do you hope that they get out of this, whenever they go and they tell their friends, hey, have you guys seen Transformers BotBots? What is that, what do you hope that brings to you, knowing that, hey, I created this for the younger generation?
Well, I think definitely we want the younger generation to see themselves in it, and we both have kids. We watch how our kids have been navigating the world. To some extent, it's how we navigated the world as kids, and how they are doing it now is what we're trying to capture in BotBots. This is definitely something that is aimed at kids, but it's designed more in that Pixar sense for the whole family to enjoy. Like, parents are going to love it as much as kids do, and that's because we're trying to do a universally relatable idea of how you find your friends, how you find family, how you find yourself.
Okay. And right now, I know you just mentioned there's one season with the 10 episodes. Is this something that you hope just continues, and how long do you foresee this project going on Netflix?
Oh, well, we'd be making BotBots the rest of our lives if they let us.
Yes, please watch. We'd love to do that.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, both again so much for your time. And we were just joined by Kevin Burke and Chris Doc Wyatt. You're watching WHKY News. Thank you.